Moving along now to our second speaker this afternoon. Chris Riddell is a true technology evangelist in today's disrupting world. A world-renowned digital strategist, technology futurist, and progressive thought leader, Chris is going to take us through the world of digital and the disruption that we are facing at home and in business. Chris will also give us some insights into what lies just around the corner and how we can embrace the opportunities that are out there. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Chris Riddell.
Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof.
Good afternoon, everyone. I think I've just seen the future. It's a 16-year-old girl who is a CEO and a slam poet. I now feel old myself. I used to be the young one coming onto these stages. Things are changing, as Holly very well articulated with us. And apart from being a futurist that I am today, I'm also a very proud dad for the first time to a little girl. She's 15 months old and she's teething, so I'm delighted to be here this afternoon with you. And you know, the crazy thing in my job is we spend half our year in the US and half now here with my speaking career in Australia. And as a result of that, my family and I, my little family and I, we spend a phenomenal amount of time on FaceTime. And thank God for that technology, otherwise it would be a really hard job to do. And I was just on the phone last week as I was going through the eastern side of the US. I was FaceTiming with my wife and our little baby. And I've got something pretty incredible to share with you here today. It's been many months of trying, lots and lots of hard work, and we have finally found the couch that fits the design of our living room. So it's big news in our family, in our home at the moment. But the crazy thing is, our world is changing so fast. And you'd be forgiven for thinking this is the craziest start to the year that we've ever had in 2020, right? I mean, we've had the bushfires here in Australia. We've had coronavirus now that's running rampant and seems to be in the headlines every moment. So things are pretty crazy. And it is this high-speed change that is the new disruptor for us. As businesses, we have to be able to operate between the line of high-speed change and technology change that's happening. But the thing that I want to shift your thinking is, for the last few years, we've all been talking about digital and technology. I actually believe now that our future is about being cognitive. It's about using technology to create more human moments, not just within our businesses, but with our customers. Don't misunderstand me, that robotics is going to be a huge topic for us this year. I mean, this robot's one of my favorites at the moment. This is a robot developed in Silicon Valley. It does a hole-in-one on the golf course every single time. I mean, this is crazy stuff, right? It measures wind speed, it measures distance, terrain, then bang! I mean, this has been the most innovative piece of tech we've seen come out of Silicon Valley, and everyone's been delighted by it. Well, almost everybody, not everybody. Not everybody is entirely delighted with this, but it's creating big waves. And the reason that tech and robotics is going to be a big topic this year is because we're in this era that I call feeding the beast. We are, when we're using our apps or when we turn light switches on or when we start our car, we are generating data and information at levels we've never done before in history. And this is the era of feeding the beast. I'll give you one of my favorite examples. It's this one. Waze is an app that we use quite a lot here in Australia. I don't know if many of you have used it. If you haven't, imagine Google Maps and Apple Maps on steroids, right? This is so good. And not only does it tell you the destination that you're going to and how to get there, but it gives you so much more information along the journey. Waze, by the way, has single-handedly saved my driving license I don't know how many times, because what it does is when you're driving along, it will send you an alert if there is a police officer hidden around the corner with a radar gun, right? This is crazy good stuff. So you're driving along, you get the alert, and you go, wow, you slow down. But the only way that Waze works is if everybody that's using the app in the vicinity inputs information as they're driving along. So if I drive along and I see a car accident at the edge of the road, I hit a button and then bang, it alerts everyone in that area. This is feeding the beast. We are all feeding the beast through these apps that we use. The reality is, a few years ago, the beast used to be a cuddly, friendly part of our lives, right? We didn't mind generating all of this data and information. But in the last few years, the beast has become this big, scary monster. And we don't trust the beast anymore. And it's this era now that we've got to get into where we use technology to become more human with each other to create more trust. Trust is going to continue to be a topic in 2020, not only for yourselves in the events industry, but more importantly for your clients. They're all trying to work out how do they reinvent trust. And it's through becoming more human with each other that we'll achieve this. The other part that's really important is we as events people or your clients in their industries are all generating data. In the events industry, we've become drunk on information. But we've got to now start to create incredible value from that information that we've been collecting over the last few years. That's how you'll reinvent this trust cycle. Create incredible value out of the data, and we'll see a new wave of trust come through. And we are now in an era where data is the most important resource we've ever had. When I used to work at Mars, one of the favorite things I had was I passionately believed that data could tell you a story about anything that you wanted. The island of Hawaii is actually the biggest proof point I've got for you at the moment around how data can tell you a story. The island of Hawaii has got this unique force field that goes around it. So if you are on holiday ever in Hawaii, you can rest assured you're on one of the safest places on planet Earth. Because if a missile comes towards the island, the US Department of Defense can alert everyone with a smartphone with a message saying, hey, there is a missile coming towards you. You need to do something, right? This is one of the most unique places on Earth that has this. Now, what could go wrong with that, right? What could possibly go wrong with that kind of technology? Well, this is a screenshot of a smartphone, an iPhone on the island of Hawaii not that long ago when somebody hit the big red button by accident in the United States Department of Defense. What then happened after this message went out was absolute unbridled chaos across the island of Hawaii. People were on their beaches drinking pina coladas and they suddenly realized, oh my God, life's coming to an end. I need to do something. What I then did is I was fascinated by the human reaction. How did the humans actually respond on the island of Hawaii? Because I believe data can tell you a story about anything you want. I hunted down so much data to try and understand the human behavior that took place on this weekday afternoon. I hunted and hunted. It took me weeks, and then I ended up on this website called Pornhub.com. Now, Pornhub, I apologize to Holly. I've never had somebody in the room that's quite this young before, but Pornhub.com is the biggest adult entertainment website on planet Earth. And I actually managed to get the data from them, which showed there the exact moment, that exclamation mark you can see there, is the exact moment there where the alert went out. And you can then see at 8:23 in the morning, there was a 77% drop of the baseline web traffic on the island of Hawaii for the website Pornhub.com. Now, I have no idea exactly what everyone suddenly decided to do, right? But we can make some fairly good assumptions here that suddenly everybody that was on this website decided they had something better to do with their lives, ring their loved ones, their husbands, their wives, their mums, their dads, their partners, right? I mean, clearly they decided they had something better to do. What I then found, which was even more fascinating, was at 9:01 a.m. in the morning, there was the biggest ever peak on the website of Pornhub.com when everyone realized they are suddenly still alive, right? Things had changed and they were going to be okay. This is cast iron proof that data will tell you a story about anything you want. It'll tell you a story about human movement, about your competitors, about your industry. You just have to go and find it. Data, by the way, is the most important resource that we've ever had. It will absolutely tell you a story. And the big thing is, remember, our future isn't about digital or technology, it's about being cognitive. The other big thing is we are swimming in data and information. I mean, don't misunderstand me. There is heaps of information and data out there. In fact, we're in one of the biggest eras now for fake news. The new future now, the new terror that we have is around disinformation. This is the new weapon of our future. And things have got really crazy. Take a look at this.
There are Ukrainian killer dolphins on the loose.
Finland doesn't exist.
The US First Lady is using a body double.
Michael Jackson is still alive.
Major celebrities are in the Illuminati.
Aliens walk amongst us.
Stevie Wonder is not blind.
We truly are in an era of peak disinformation. So the big thing for the events industry is that our clients are looking to cut through that noise. They're looking for us to be able to show them the difference between what is true and what is not. And that's why we're seeing so much growth in this fascinating industry of ours, because offline moments are helping to tell a story about our future in some new and innovative ways. Also, the year 2020 is going to be massive when it comes for elections and the impact that politics is going to have on business and technology globally. This is my favorite photo from the last presidential race, and this was a photo of President-elect Trump before he actually got inaugurated, sitting with his right-hand advisor, Peter Thiel, who's a guy who invented PayPal and then went on to create one of the biggest AI businesses on planet Earth. But the person I want you to have a look at there is to his left, the CEO of the first trillion-dollar company on planet Earth, Tim Cook, the CEO of Apple. Have a look at his face as he's listening to what Donald Trump has to say about the future. He is terrified. And I think that, for me, really shows how crazy things are. The other thing is, we are changing our behavior so much because of technology. This photo with Hillary Clinton at the last presidential race showed just how crazy things have got, that this is our new normal. And if you want another example of the corner that we've turned, we've now got job titles like emoji translator becoming a new normal on the BBC. Times are absolutely chaotic, but it's our job in the events industry to drive a story and narrative through this change. We are now blending our physical and digital worlds into one. You cannot separate those two anymore. Pokemon Go arguably kicked this era off. And you remember the game Grand Theft Auto? For those of you that don't know it, your kids certainly do. The entire objective of this game is you go in, you steal stuff, you blow stuff up, and you shoot stuff. But something really unique happened in Grand Theft Auto recently. For those of you that had the Samsung Galaxy Note, you remember the exploding battery situation? You can now go into Grand Theft Auto and download an illegal add-on pack which gives you the Samsung Galaxy Note to blow stuff up within the game, right? What a time to be alive on planet Earth. This here is our future. But what this shows is what happens between our physical and digital worlds has truly collided. You cannot separate the two. I actually want to talk to you about this new megatrend that I'm working through a lot of my clients with at the moment. It's called Augmented Humanity, where we blend technology and humanity together. And this is one of the things that terrifies me most as being a dad. This is vision of a young girl in the US who mistook a water heater and thought it was a robot, and she goes up and gives it a hug. Our children will have relationships with technology systems in the same way that we did with human beings. And as of 2 days ago, we have just tipped into a new era. This is the era now where we are having experiences, emotional experiences in the virtual world that are just as real as the physical world. This is a video of a lady called Yang Yi-sung from South Korea, and I've downloaded it for you guys here today. It's quite confrontational. I warn you ahead of playing this now. But this shows us just how much things have changed. Yang's 7-year-old daughter died a few years ago from a blood condition, and she didn't get to have that last moment with her little daughter. So a virtual reality company stepped in, created this so that she could go and have a visitation with her daughter one last time. Take a look at this.
어딨어?
엄마! 엄마! 엄마 어디 있었어?
엄마 항상
엄마 내 생각했어?
맨날
나는
해.
엄마랑 많이 보고 싶었어.
엄마도 너 보고 싶었어.
Now, the big thing with this is however you feel about this video right here, is that we are at the start of one of the most incredible points that we are turning through humanity. We are now at ground zero when it comes to how we have experiences on an emotional level with technology. You remember when mobile phones came out? I remember my first phone as a teenager. My parents thought it was ridiculous and a completely ridiculous piece of tech that we didn't need. You remember when online dating started? It was creepy, like who would go online and go online dating, right? That was ground zero. We are now at ground zero for having emotional experiences through technology systems. This is one of the most exciting times, I guarantee you, there's ever been to be a human being on planet Earth. Young, who you saw on there, she loved the experience. She reported afterwards that she felt that she got to have that emotional connection back with her daughter that she felt she missed out on in that last moment. And if you've got kids under the age of 10, here's a scary fact. They are going to be part of the first generation that will largely live over 100 years old. We are living longer and better lives now because of technology. But we've got to keep up. The challenge for us across our industry and for our clients is to keep up with this physical pace of, phenomenal pace of change. There is some ridiculous stuff that's going on with technology. Things like smart toilet roll holders giving us notifications when our loo roll is running low. I mean, this is ridiculous. Why do we even need this? The point here is that we're obsessed with technology. It's become a new religion. If you think that I'm crazy, go onto Google afterwards and type in, how do I convert to? PDF is the top religion now in Google, right? This is how crazy our world has gone. This was slightly awkward when I was in Dubai a few weeks ago and I played this. They didn't warm too well to this because it beats Islam. But the truth is, this is where we're at. And in the events industry, we're always looking for nostalgia. And here's my one I want to share with you as we wrap up today. This is my favorite app of the moment. It's called the KD Pro. You can go into your app store on your Google Play or your Google device or your Apple App Store, download the KD Pro. And you remember those disposable cameras that we used to have? Well, this gives you that back again through your smartphone. I mean, it's even got, if you look in the top right-hand corner, it's even got the wheel to wind on to the next photo. And when you wind to the next photo, it actually makes the noise. You remember that whoop, whoop, whoop noise? So you get this whole nostalgic experience. You get a really crappy viewfinder to be able to take your photo with. And if by some miracle you manage to take one good photo, you remember that era where one good photo you managed to take, if you manage to do that and you decide, wow, I want to upload it to Instagram, you have to wait 3 days for the photo to become available on your app. Go and get the KD Pro. Remember this one word, though. It's so relevant for this world that we're in. We're in a world of VUCA. Our clients are in a world of volatility and uncertainty and complexity, huge amounts of ambiguity. But our job in the events industry is to drive clarity through the confusion. We create events to help them see that new future ahead. And for us in the event industry, our job is to break down that front sexy part of the event industry and our businesses and join it somehow with that back end, not quite so sexy part of the events part that we work in. Join the two together to help create something truly extraordinary. Reinvent yourselves. You are the people previously known as the events industry. Help to challenge, innovate relentlessly, and be obsessed with creating incredible experiences through technology. The hallmark of any business of the future is one that is a thought leader and challenges themselves outside of their comfort zone. I hope I've managed to inspire you a little bit today about this crazy future that we're in. For those of you that are on LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, whatever it is, please do join me. And for those of you that haven't, may God have mercy on your soul. Thank you very much.